You've shown in a few videos how to clean out a pen with a cartridge converter or a piston filler. I've yet to find any information on how to best clean out an eyedropper pen. I put some Herbin Caroube de Chypre in my Charlie pen, and I'm wanting to switch out to Diamine Blue Velvet, one of my favorites. What's the best and easiest way to go about cleaning and flushing the ink so I can try out the Blue Velvet? Well, I have a Charlie pen right here, so I can use that as a demonstration. Pun intended, sort of, because it's a demonstrator pen. But anyway, so this specific pen, and there's many others like it, it's an eyedropper pen, so it does not have a cartridge or a piston filling system of any kind. You're basically just filling the entire body with ink. That's how these eyedropper pens work. Most eyedropper pens are converted over from a cartridge converter pen. So a lot of cartridge converter pens, Edison for example, there's a lot of other ones that are failing to come to mind right at this instant, but anything basically with a plastic body that does not have holes in it could be converted to an eyedropper. The best way that I find to clean this out, okay, so because it doesn't have any type of like manual flushing filling system in it, is with a bulb syringe, which is the single best tool that I have ever used to clean out my pens. And you gotta be kidding me, where's my bulb syringe? I like always have this thing handy, and I forgot to grab it before I started the video. How do you like that? Well, hot dang. I don't know my bulb syringe. Where'd it go? Okay, well, there it is. It's like right here in the bin. Okay, so this is a bulb syringe. It's the little boogie sucker things you get at the hospital when you have a kid. But you use that. So with this specific Charlie pen, okay, you wouldn't be able to use this just as is. You would actually need to cut the tip off a little bit to be able to fit over top of the threads here. That would be the best way that I know. But you don't even have to do that necessarily. You could pull the nib and feed out of the pen and then clean it like that. You have to be able to set it back in. So if you're not comfortable doing that, that's when I recommend you can use the bulb syringe to just cut it out there. But it's nothing super elaborate in here. It's just friction fit inside there. You just got to set and make sure that the feed is kind of in the proper place. Maybe you want to take a picture of it before you do it. But anyway, that's what I got going on with this pen. But a lot of pens, especially if it's a standard international cartridge converter pen, you don't need to cut the tip off or anything to be able to flush it out. So this is a really, really handy tool that I highly recommend. It comes out really handy for cleaning out eyedropper pens like this. And then when I'm cleaning the body of an eyedropper pen, you know, this is a clear one, so you can really see it. So you may need to get really intense with it, but a normal pen, you would just, you know, fill it with ink under a sink or something like that, cover the hole, and shake it like crazy, dump it out, and just do that a few times. And honestly, that's going to be plenty for you unless you have a clear pen, in which case you may have a little bit of ink kind of hanging out after the fact. That's where something like a Q-tip can really come in handy, which I do have those down here. So, you know, I'll take a Q-tip and just kind of go and swab out the whole thing and really make sure that I can get all the ink out if it happens to stick around. But that is my recommendation for cleaning out an eyedropper pen. It's nothing super elaborate. And then when you go to re-ink it back up, it's never a bad idea to take a little bit of silicone grease, put it on the threads, and then you are all sealed up and ready to go. Cool? All right. Oh, last thing I wanted to cover on that, since you mentioned Caroube de Chypre, is that is an ink that has, you know, the little glittery effects in it. That's going to be a little harder to clean out than your normal ink, especially if you're using like a Shimmer-tastic or something that has like that sparkle glitter stuff in it. So if you're going to be using that as an eyedropper, you're setting yourself up for having to clean out your pen a little harder than you would you know, a typical, you know, pen or a typical ink. So just know that's kind of what you're signing up for, and I would maybe look to kind of more dedicate a pen with that specific ink in it and not try to change that one out quite as much, especially with an eyedropper that's a little bit more involved with the cleaning of the whole body and all that kind of stuff. So, but you can do whatever you want. Free country.